Our next speaker was executive editor at V Magazine, a trend-setting magazine for high fashion, cutting-edge pop culture, and entertainment. In 2012, she founded VFILES, fashion's first social media platform. VFILES is an all-encompassing digital platform that encourages its users to curate without inhibition. It's my pleasure to welcome my boss and my mentor, she's gonna kill me, Julianne Quay.
Hi, guys. I'm really constricted by this red dot. I feel like I should be singing a national anthem. So I just want to say that I'm Australian. That's why I talk like this. So just let's get that out of the way. I've been in New York City for 20 years. And I'm also half Chinese and half Australian. So when you're looking at me and trying to work out if I'm Polynesian or part Eskimo or whatever else, because that happens to me all the time, that's my heritage. So today I stand in front of you as an optimist and a dreamer. And what's an optimist and a dreamer together? It means an optimistic dreamer. And what's an optimistic dreamer? An optimistic dreamer believes that their dreams can come true. And so I want to talk to you today about one of my dreams that's coming true, thanks to a lot of guys that are sitting here, and that's called VFILES. And how did VFILES come about? So I live in this neighborhood. This is like my hood, technically. And a few years ago, just somewhere before, like, I don't know, 2007, somewhere there, maybe earlier, I was hit by a hit-and-run driver out here on Madison and 86th Street. I was going to the gym one morning, and I had my hood on. I was really walking with a lot of swagger. And it was raining, and I don't know something hit me. I don't know what it was. I can't remember. And I had a lot of injuries. I had, the number one being a brain injury. And because of that injury, I lost a lot of confidence. I lost coordination. And there was a time there when I was actually unconscious on the road, and I could taste the road, where the one thing I do remember was I didn't exist. I didn't exist anymore. And what does that feel like? It's not a good feeling. And I was forced to look at my life from the 20,000-foot view. And I'm going to talk about today how to make your dreams happen in kind of internet and tech development terms, which I think you'll relate to and understand, and there are good things to apply to your life. So I was forced to look at life from the 20,000-foot view because I couldn't participate. So the 20,000-foot view means you're looking at everything from up top. And so I realized that, while I was watching and not participating because, I couldn't hold a cup of tea in my left hand and all this kind of stuff, I was like, okay, what are the things that I really want to do now? What do I really want to make happen in my life? And I had a dream. And I had this dream for a long time. And I wanted to create a fashion social networking community, a cyber fashion community that was democratic, where everyone was equal. And what I want to talk to you about today and use my experience is to show you how you can be your own brand. Because my dream through VFILES is that the youth of the world can step up and represent themselves and be their own brands. So let's have some rules. I'm going to do, I'm a huge fan of NCIS. What's his name, Gibbs, has all these rules. I've got 8 rules for how to be your own brand. Number 1 is do it now. Now. At VFILES, we have a big sign on the wall that says now. There is no time like now. Do it now. Do it today. Why a democratic fashion community? Because fashion is perceived as one of the most elite communities out there, really hard to get into. Fashion people are so arrogant. They think they're so good. They think they're better than you. That's wrong. The people at the upper echelons of the fashion industry, they are the smartest, nicest, kindest, gentlest people you will ever meet. And what do we do every day in fashion? We create amazing things. We also create terrible things. We win, we fail. We cry, we sometimes fight with each other, but we're always a team. And when you get together as a team, you can make great things happen. So that was the vision for VFILES, and that was why I wanted to create it. Number 1, I decided to do it now. Number 2, surround yourself with people that have the same mission as you. Now that is so important. You're only as strong as the weakest members on your team. Today, there's a big football game. It's Mississippi State is playing Alabama. And it's a huge game. And they have this promo reel out right now, which is, what you'd imagine, really powerful strings and all these coaches, talking, locker room talks, things like that. But the thing that's most riveting, and I actually nearly cried when I watched it, is there's these shots of players pointing at each other going, I do it for you. And I'm doing this for you and you and you. I do it for you. I do it for my team. I stand there and do it for you. And that brings me to rule number 3. It's just your brand has to mean something. What do you mean? What do you stand for? You know, when we were creating VFILES, what do we stand for? When someone says, what is VFILES? Okay, VFILES is so many different things. It's a social media platform. It's a crazy cool store. It's really great video content. It's a vault of fashion media. But what do we stand for? We stand for what's next. And what's next is for everyone in this room and everyone in the world to be able to stand up and be their own brand. So then comes to your name. What are you going to call yourself? Your name is everything. All right, so imagine when those guys created Google, you know, and they said, I'm going to call my company Google, you know, like googly eyes, Google, right? When you have to come up for a name for your company right now, your name can't just be like, you know, Julianne and daughter or Julianne and sons or like best shoes or, you know, something like cheapest shoes in America or something. Your name has to be a noun, a verb, an adjective, and an adverb. You have to be able to apply connotations and different derivatives of your name so that people can use your name when they talk. So what's VFILES? VFILES are virtual profiles online. But I can shop at VFILES. I can VFile. I can look so VFILES, and I can't talk to you right now because I'm VFiling. All right? So think about that. You know, your name is everything. And then what do you actually do? Like, let's get practical. What do you do? You know, like when you go through customs and you have to fill out a form, you're all too young to do that, but when you go or you go to the bank and you start a bank account and there's that line, what do you do? What does your brand do? All right, so what is that? You have to have revenue. You have to have a community. You have to have an audience. You have to have a strategy. If you can't define what you do, then really, who are you? So that's a really, really important role. And then you come to number 6, which, you know, to girls who talked here before about women in coding, what is your minimum viable product? What is the minimum thing that you can get out there in the world to test if your brand, that you have decided what it does, you've given it a brand culture that it stands for, what does it do? What is that? And so many people make these crazy mistakes that I'm going to launch myself. I'm going to launch my brand. It's going to be this huge store with millions and millions of things in it, or it's going to be this amazing car, or, you know, some kind of really massive thing. And it's actually something that the fashion industry does a lot, and it's a really big problem because if you launch something all the way, you don't know the mistakes that you've made until you've made them. And that kind of doesn't make sense, but I'm going to explain it to you like this. So what's minimum viable product? MVP. Minimum viable product is the tiniest thing that you can get out in the market that says who you are and what you do and that you can get a reaction from. So for VFILES, what we did was, you know, we started to launch we just launched our platform in 2012 just with the basic archive to see if anyone liked it, you know, and we got a lot of feedback, what people liked, what they didn't. And from there, we could, you know, adapt and change. So the whole thing is about listen, adapt, change, listen, adapt, change. And then you have make mistakes, learn from them, don't be scared. And then you have engage your friends and family. Your friends and family are your built-in audience. Your friends and family will make sure that you succeed. Your friends and family will look you in the eye and say you are a total idiot, and they will still love you, and then they will support you anyway. So those are my rules. But what really matters, and I'm running out of time, what really matters here is the dream itself. Do you know that if you close your eyes and walk, you will just walk around in circles, you won't go anywhere. It's the weirdest thing, and it's a scientifically proven fact. I want you to all know that if you can think, you can dream. I have a few quotes that I want to end on. This is one of my favorites. A man who has no imagination has no wings. Okay, it sounds really poetic and feminine. Muhammad Ali, the greatest fighter in the world. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. That's Walt Disney. And then the most famous dream quote of all, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but their content of their character. Never forget that one. These quotes are famous because the people who dreamt them made them happen and fought hard for them. Have the courage to dream. I've got your back, guys. I have everyone's back. At VFILES, we all have each other's back. Have the power and fortitude to stand by your dreams. The internet is the greatest democratizing dream maker of all time. Use it. Find a way or make one. And so here's two quotes, my last two, that I want to end on. There's that famous scene in Dead Poets Society, you know, where Robin Williams is telling his class, you know, about dreaming and life. And he says that the powerful play, life, goes on, and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What is your verse? What will your verse be? And then I'm going to end with another powerful quote by someone that you all know. And the play is going to play you, play, 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 play. And the hater's going to hate, your critics, hate, 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 hate. But you're going to shake, 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 shake. You're going to shake it off. Get out there and make some shit happen. Thanks for having me, guys.